Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It is Saturday and the time is 11 a.m. GMT. These are the times that we're hosting the live webinars. The premiere is on YouTube at 8 a.m. GMT on a Sunday morning. So if you'd like to attend the live one, you tune in on Saturdays at this time, that is 11 a.m. GMT. You can look out for the live webinar link under the description of all our videos. If you go to my channel on YouTube, you'll also find links to our different social media platforms. That is, WhatsApp contact number is there, the Telegram channel, TradingView, website, as well as our Twitter profile. If you follow us there and like our page on Facebook, you will get the notifications or the links to the live webinars. Right, our next course is starting on the 5th of October. We've just concluded our August course, so the next one starts on the 5th of October. It's a 10-day course. If you'd like to book, you can book at any time on our website, and that is what we've got now. So you can the course is available immediately on recordings when you make a booking, so you can start watching the course as soon as you book. In October is the live course. That means we spend 10 days together doing just the training. Right, so let's get started. Let's get into today's market analysis. We're going to go straight into it. The setups are looking pretty interesting. Historically, the market tend to move or trend quite ferociously on the month of April, and we've been seeing some similar patterns in this week as well. So we're going to be looking at those as we go along. Before we get started, we'll just look out for the crypto webinar right after this. It also premieres on YouTube on Sunday at 9 a.m. GMT. Right, so we're going to start with the DXY. Let's start with the DXY. Before we look at the DXY, the current chart on the DXY, let's look at our view on the website. So here I will just be showing you the current structures and the expectation for detailed charts. These are our detailed charts. You can also find some of our charts on our pages. This is what our Facebook page looks like. It's the Trading Waves page on Facebook. We post a number of charts with structures and some of the labelings there. You'll find it there, and this is what our Twitter profile looks like. So number of charts that we post up there that you can look up on our pages. Right, so let's look at the DXY. This is the structure on the DXY, but look at how the DXY, the detailed analysis on the DXY. Let's go to the US dollar pairs on the website. This is what our website looks like, and this is how we upload our charts. Let's open it up. Right, so we're going to start with the DXY. We'll start with the 4-hour chart, so just to see what we're looking at. So a couple of weeks back, we started looking at this corrective structure here as a wave 4. This is what we've been looking at as a wave 4. Started checking this out when it was still making a move to the upside. This is where we were last week. We made a move to the upside. We didn't quite take the top there, and we're still looking for this one to come down here. Now, this is not coming down aggressively, which makes us look at this to possibly make an ending diagonal here, because what we're looking for here is wave 5. Okay, so this is how it has played out so far. As you can see, we've got this move to the upside. This is our wave 5. We have dropped, but we've made another 3-wave pullback. It's possible that we can keep coming down here with an ending diagonal for that wave 5. We have not confirmed the reversal as yet. Our indicator needs to confirm that structure for us. So if we're going to get that, then that means we're going to get that deeper pullback. Is that pullback ready to come now? That's what we need to look at here. We are looking at this as wave 4, but we're looking at this one to complete the ending diagonal here. Let's see if we're going to get that. Otherwise, if we get this confirmation here, this may have ended the last bit of wave 5. That will be too small to be a wave 5, looking at how big this structure is. So we're looking for the upside here. We're looking for this one to make a diagonal before any upside. So let's look at that. Let's watch it. So another one here. Let's then look at the Euro US dollar, which is the inverse of the DXY. We'll be looking for this one. We were looking for, last week we were looking for this one to come take the low here, just missed it by a few pips, but now we're looking for this one to make a move to the upside. We have made a bit of a move to the upside, and now we've made the three-wave move to the downside, similar to what we've done, what has happened on the DXY. We've got this now. Is this now going to make this move, or is it gonna make an ending diagonal as well? It's possible that we also make an ending diagonal here, because we're also looking for this to complete the last wave 5 and then make a move to the downside. We need to get that confirmation first. So this is what the euro US dollar looks like here, the current chart. So we've got that push to the upside. We can keep pushing up higher like this with a diagonal. It's possible that we can keep pushing up higher with a diagonal, which some would like to call a wedge. So what we're looking at here, this is our wave 4 here, and this can start making a diagonal before we get that three-wave pullback that we'll be looking for on euro US dollar. All right, pound US dollar, let's have a look at pound US dollar as well, similar structure. Now pound US dollar, if you look at this structure, we have got what looks like a 1 and a 2, and here we've got another degree in 1 and a 2, and we've got another one here that is making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're getting on pound here could be this wave 4 in the red degree, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the pullback that we'll be looking for. We'll be looking for this to make a three-wave move. We've already started with an impulsive move to the downside. Is that the reversal or just the pullback? You'll see that the pound pairs this week look like they're going to make this short-term downside. So after that wave 4, we still need to get this one, which is the higher degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that's what we're going to be looking at here on this structure. We currently here, we're looking at this pullback. Let's have a look at that pullback and see what the structure looks like there. Right, so that is what we've got there. We've already got an impulse. Is this a three-wave move? It can make another X here and make another three-wave move. But what we want here is a deeper correction, because that is a larger degree correction. All right, so let's just have a look at that on the side as well. That is a pound US dollar on the 4-hour. And that is what we've got now. We've made a bit of a move to the upside, although it did not quite reach what we forecasted. It has now made a move to the downside here, and seemingly in three waves. So this corrective structure can be deeper than what we're forecasting there on pound US dollar. Right, then let's look at US dollar CHF, or rather US dollar CAD first. Now US dollar CAD, we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. It has continued to the downside, just like the DXY. We've got a bit of a pulsing move here, but let's see if that pulsing move mean anything currently in the structure. Let's have a look on US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, as you can see, we've made this pulsing move to the upside, but we've come down sharply. So this could still continue to the downside. Still continue to the downside here. We're still going to look for this one to continue to the downside. This is the 5th wave that we're looking at on US dollar CAD, and the indicator is showing us that there's still more downside on this pair. It's not ready for a move to the upside just as yet. So we can start getting this move here before any pullback. So US dollar CAD, this could be driven by the CAD and not necessarily by the weakness in the US dollar. Right, so that's what we've got there. Let's look at AUD US dollar. AUD US dollar on the 4-hour. As you can see here, we actually had a trade set up for this one to push a little bit higher. We have pushed up higher, but did not quite reach the target that we were looking at on AUD US dollar. It has now pulled back. Let's have a look at how that has transpired. AUD US dollar. So this is where we took the trade, moved about 100 pips from this level here. This was our setup. This was our entry. Moved about 100 pips, did not quite reach our target. Out of this one on break even, we are now making this move to the downside. It's a pulsing move. We could get a corrective structure at current levels. If we do get that, then that means we're going to get that three-wave pullback that we're looking at. Not necessarily ready for a reversal, but this is what we're going to be looking at, just the three-wave pullback. But this three-wave pullback will be deep, so it can be traded against the trend. Right, so that is what we have on AUD US dollar. Let's look at New Zealand. New Zealand has been weak for the last couple of trading sessions. If you look at just the last structure here, we've got a three-wave move to the downside. We've got a three-wave up. Now we're looking for another three waves to the downside. Let's just put this one into perspective. 1, 2, 3, that's the three waves I'm talking about. You've got a regular flare, or rather expanding flare there. And we're looking for this one here. If you get another pullback here, you'll be looking for this leg to come down. Okay, so basically that's going to give you a double correction there, double XY, before resumption of the move to the upside on New Zealand US dollar. All right, so that is New Zealand, and this is what it looks like on the structure. So New Zealand, we wanted this to break to the upside after these three waves here. So this is now has made a double correction. This has now made a double correction. It has not broken as yet. So that means we need to get this move to the downside here first before we make a move to the upside. All right, Audi US dollar, we've already looked at Audi US dollar. Now US dollar ZAR, let's have a look at US dollar ZAR. Now US dollar ZAR, we didn't expect it to play this regular flat. It may still not play, but at this stage, we're still getting a three-way move to the downside, and the indicator is still showing us weakness, which tells us that this may actually just play out. So we'll be looking for a deeper correction if this is going to make any move to the downside. As it is now, the short-term trend is to the downside on US dollar ZAR. Okay, we're looking downside here. It's not giving us a continuation pattern for upside at this stage. All right, so if we do get a pattern here, there's a possibility for this pattern here to give us a flat here at current levels like that. If we do get that, that means this pattern is invalid, and then we can go to the all-time highs. Okay, while we're on this, let's look at pound ZAR and the euro ZAR, and just to compare the structures on this. So pound ZAR. So if you look at pound ZAR, so pound ZAR, we've got this move to the downside. This can potentially be a structure like this, and we get this pullback like that before a move to the upside. So if we do get that, that will still be a bigger corrective structure on US dollar ZAR. And we need to get confirmation that this is going to come down, because as it is now, it is a three-way move, and a three-way move can result in a move higher. So we just wait for this one to give us a bit more data. EURZAR, let's have a look at EURZAR. EURZAR is a bit more telling in terms of structure. If you look at the EURZAR, we have got 1, 2, and the 3. Got 1, 2, and the 3. So as much as the structure may be different, EURZAR may make another three-way move here. If it makes, or rather a pulsy move, if it makes a pulsy move here, then we've got an ABC corrective structure. So US dollar ZAR, Euro ZAR, Pound ZAR are all showing us downside structurally, and that just needs to be confirmed by the indicator if that is the structure for downside. So some strength on the South African rand, short for at least up to this level, medium term, short to medium term. Right, those are the US dollar pairs. Let's look at the pound pairs. Again, I'm going to refer to what we've got forecasted on our website. Right, so you can see that these are not forecasted in hindsight. Let's look at the yen pairs. Let's look at the yens. Right, pound yen for hour. Okay, I'm just showing you one time frame because we don't really have the time to go through all the pairs here. So what we're looking at on this pair here, we have broken the top here. We're looking for continuation to the upside, but that continuation to the upside, we've taken the top here. We're now making this pullback. And the expectation is that after the pullback, we should still continue to the upside. Last time we looked at this one as a regular flat, expected this one to make a continuation from here and make a push to the upside. We didn't get that push to the upside. Instead, when we got to this level, we started making this pullback. Let's have a look at that pullback. Is that going to be just a pullback or a reversal? Let's have a look. Right, so if you look on the 4 hour, we have got this as a three-wave move. So that is still a corrective structure. It's a continuation pattern. As much as we've got this level here, that can be a structural level that does this before we move to the upside. But let's first get confirmation that this is not a continuation pattern, because if it is, then our structure is still intact and the trend is still intact for further upside. Right, let's have a look at this one on the daily. Let's have a look at it on the daily as well. So on the daily, there's no confirmation for downside. The structure still looks intact, as well as the trend. So daily is just showing us a corrective structure. You can see it's just going sideways. It's flat. This can break this recent high here and go and make a new high. All right, so that is a pound yen. Look for continuation pattern to the upside unless the indicator confirms otherwise. Right, let's have a look at US dollar yen as well. So US dollar yen. Now looking at US dollar yen, we were looking for these to push up higher all the way from here. We actually had a trade set up, which we traded this about 140 pips to the upside, but it has now made only a three-wave pullback and is coming down here like this. Now, what is the structure in the lower degree? Let's have a look in the short-term structure. Are we going to get this up, down, and then up here? If it does that, then that means we're not ready for a move to the upside yet, and that means we can get 3 down here, 3 up here, 3 down here, 3 up, and 3 down. WXYXZ structure. This mainly because of the weakness in the US dollar. Let's have a look here. And this week, the yen pairs will be pulling back short-term bearish moves. Let's have a look on the 4-hour on US dollar yen. Now, US dollar yen, even though we're looking at structurally to get this move, short-term move to the upside, this should eventually continue lower. We've got this as a three-wave move to the upside. This is another three-wave move to the downside. Even if you do see upside here, that will just be confirming further downside, and we'll be looking for this one to come take the bottom here. Then we'll expect this structure and continuation to the downside. That is because of the weakness in the US dollar. Right, US dollar yen. Let's take a step back on this one. Let's zoom out a bit here and go to the daily chart. I think I've shown this last week, exactly why we're looking at euro yen and CHF yen the way we're looking at them, and why we have been buying the euro up to this level. So this is the reason why. The euro has made this 5-wave move from right at the bottom up to this level, and has made this 3-wave move from right, up to this level here. Now we're seeing this move to the upside, which has gone up in 3 waves. That is so far 3 waves. So we can still get this move here to make 1, 2, 3 there. ABC structure. It's an ABC structure here. That's an A actually, ABC. Here you've got 3 waves down and a pullback. Let's show that pullback in a different color, just so you can see. And you've got another 3 waves down here. Okay, so what you have here is a similar degree. I've just shown this one so you can see that's an X. As much as this looks impulsive, that's actually a corrective structure. WXY here. Now you've got here WX and a Y. And if that is the case, we should keep pushing higher at the current levels. We should keep pushing higher until we get a sharp correction and then a move to the upside, similar to what we've got here in the first leg, so something like that. So that's what we'll be looking at on the euro. But what is happening currently, we're seeing what looks like a pullback. Is this going to be a pullback or a continuation to the upside? Let's have a look. Right, go to the 4-hour. Now on the 4-hour, this looks like it's making a pullback. Looks like we're gonna have a 3-wave pullback here. If we get a pullback here, we're gonna have one more down here. Let's see how this one plays out. Then we'll look for a continuation pattern to the upside when the indicator confirms. That is euro yen, a bit of a pullback short term, and that is what all the yen pairs are showing this week. CHF yen, short impulse move to the downside. This can still continue to the downside like this, not necessarily a reversal, because this also can show continuation to the upside after we get this move. So not quite ready yet for that reversal or a deeper pullback, but that is what we're getting at this stage. CAD yen. Now, CAD yen is a good example of why some Elliott Wave traders and people who trade flags and breakouts don't necessarily get the trades right most of the time. Now, if you look at CAD yen, somebody who just trades policy moves and corrections will be expecting this structure. This is a corrective structure, and they'll be expecting this move to the downside. But that is what I will look at as well. I will also look at this as a policy move, a correction, and then I'll look for this one to come down. But the indicator, this is where this comes in. Our Elliott Wave indicator tells us where the direction of the market is. At this stage, as much as we can see this, the indicator is showing us otherwise. It's showing us that this is going to continue higher from current levels. Okay, so we're not expecting this move. we're expecting this one, because the move to expect would have been these three waves, but we're expecting continuation pattern from current levels. So let's see how this one plays out next week, because the indicator is showing us upside, and structurally we're expecting continuation to the upside because we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's show that 1, 2, 3 in a different color. It's still the same degree. I'm just separating it so you can see clearly. And we're expecting another 1, 2, 3 to the upside. So currently, because we're not expecting this one to pull back at this level, that means this is still going to make a move to the upside, and only up around this level will we get a similar corrective structure like that before we move to the upside. Then we've got a deeper, a bigger corrective structure like that. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Look for continuation to the upside on CAD. So CAD, we actually have a trade setup that we took from this level. We're still holding on to that trade. We're looking for upside. If we can just show you that trade setup, let's have a look at it on our trade setups channel here. So let's have a look at, this is not the one I want to show you here. I want to show you CAD yen and why we're holding CAD yen. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at CAD yen. What's the date today? It was only last week. So this CADJPY, latest one, Euro. Let's have a look here quickly. EURCAD. CAD yen. Here it is. So we've got a setup on CAD yen right here. Just get this one to load. Right, so we've got a setup for CAD yen here. We have made a move to the upside. We are currently pulling back, but we're not worried about this one coming down to our stop. We're running this risk-free already. We're waiting for this one to continue to the upside, and the indicator is showing us that our trade is still in play. So this is how we decide whether to hold or not, because the indicator will tell us whether to stay on or whether whether the setup has changed. So in this case, we're still holding on from here. That's our trade setup. About 70 pips already up. Obviously, 50% of that has already been taken back, but we're looking for continuation to the upside. The move to the upside here is still quite significant. So that's why we are not worried about this, even if we can even get to this level before any deeper corrective structure. That is CAD yen. Let's look at AUD yen. AUD yen. Short-term downside, is this going to be playing this corrective structure? If it plays this corrective structure, that means we're still going to have more upside. All right, so we're looking for this one to come down at least to this level here. So continuation to the downside, short-term up to this level. If we break this level, then we're going to start looking for this one to come down here at that level. That is AUD yen, New Zealand yen. Right, so this is New Zealand yen. As much as we're looking for this one to pull back, this is showing us that if we get to this level, we've got a structure like this. We've got a move, a policy move there, corrective move there. This move here at this level, we could get a continuation pattern to the upside. So short-term downside, let's look at what happens at this level. Around this level, we're going to start looking for continuation to the upside. So for the next week, look for continuation patterns to the downside. Right, so we'll be looking for this to break out of this flat correction, because that's what we're looking at there. If we're going to get an upside here, indicator obviously has to confirm that move. Then that will mean that this corrective structure, regular flat, is playing out. That is New Zealand. We've looked at AUD, right? Yes, we have looked at the AUD. Now let's look at gold. Now, if you look at gold, it's playing out exactly as we expected it to play out last week. Structure is a bit messy. Let me clean it up. Let me take off the labelings there. So gold, we looked at this as a pulsing move, and I showed you exactly why this is 5 waves and expecting this one to make a 3-wave move. And now we're actually looking for this one to make a 3-wave move here. Sorry, no, we're not looking for a 3-wave move. We're looking for a pulsing move, a 3 waves, and another pulsing move. Is that what we're going to get on gold? It doesn't look likely. As much as we can see that we may get this structure here. If we do get that, we're getting this and then continuation to the upside. So far, What I think will happen here on gold is that we're going to stay for a bit in this corrective structure. Within this corrective structure, whichever structure this plays out, we're going to do this and then upside. So let's see, what are we getting here? We've got a pulsing move down here. We should get a bit of a pullback here. Maybe another one to the downside, and then a move to the upside here. That will be a flat correction, downside. Then we're going to have this one to the upside. So we're still looking for upside on gold. This is 5, this could be 3, 3, but let's wait for the structure to confirm. If we're getting this corrective structure here, that does not necessarily mean that this is going to be a reversal. At this point, we may get a bounce, depending on the size of this. But if you look at the higher degree structure on gold, let me just show you. We're not done with upside as far as gold is concerned. We're still looking for further upside. Okay, we're still looking for more upside. So what you're seeing here is only a wave 4. So we're just checking to see, we're just tracking this to see how far and what structure the wave 4 is going to take on gold before we resume and move to the upside. Gold is not done, it is still bullish in the long term. All right, so that is the structure that we've got on gold. Let me just show you the whole structure here. You can take a snapshot and analyze it on your own. That's what we have, and that is where we are. You can go and learn this. Right, silver. Silver, we have got a pulsing move. The current leg on silver on the daily is a pulsing move, clear pulsing move shown there in the white degree, 1, 2, 3. Is this wave 4 in the white degree complete, or is it still going to make flat before actually resuming higher? But if you look at this focus, you can see that the flat will require that this comes back around the 22, 21 level, which is not likely. So this could have been all a correction. Let's see how this one plays out. So with gold pulling back, this could be also just correcting for a move here and then upside here. Let's see how this plays out. But long term, medium term on this one is upside. Let's look at the short term on silver, where we're heading in the next couple of trading sessions. What we have here is a 3-wave move to the upside. There's another 3 waves. Looks like we're still going to have a bit of a move to the downside. That 3 waves is not done. We can then get this one retesting there and a move down here. That means this wave 4 will be here, and then we make a move to the upside. What do we do in the meantime? We look for this. And then when this is done, we're going to be looking for this trade to the upside. That is silver, corrective structure here. And then when it's done, we resume a move to the upside. Right, let's look at Brent crude. Now looking at Brent crude oil on the 4-hour. Structurally, we've got this one showing us this continuation pattern here. We're looking for this one to continue higher. Let me get my yellow. This one to continue higher, but the indicator has not confirmed yet the structure that we're looking at. Is this going to make a move to the upside? Let's look at the daily. Now, if you look at the daily, on the daily, on Brent crude, it's showing us that we're still seeing more upside here. We're still looking for more upside. As much as we can see that this is an ending diagonal. I don't want to call it a wedge. We've got an ending diagonal there. This may still give us one more up before we actually get the deeper corrective structure that we're looking at. Let's draw this one clearly. On the daily, this is what we have here. We're back at the lower boundary of this diagonal, but it doesn't look like we're going to break here yet. Looks like we're going to have one more up. Okay, so is this going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? And then we're going to look for this one to make a move to the downside. As it is, oil, we'll expect it to push a little bit higher within this diagonal. That is Brent crude oil, and what we're going to be looking at is Brent crude oil. Back to the 4-hour. Look out for this Brent crude. Even if you do get this, remember, you're just looking for this one to get to the top of the diagonal, top boundary of the diagonal. Let's show the structure here. Okay, so that is our wave 5 here that we're looking at. So this wave 5 is incomplete. Looks like we're going to have 5 here and then downside. 1, 2, this whole thing becoming a wave 3, 4, these three waves becoming a wave 5, then we start looking for downside. Right, so that's Brent crude oil. Pound chief. Now pound chief, so what I was talking about historically about these structures having a tendency to move around the September month. We're looking at this one during our daily webinar, during our live trading room. So let's have a look at this one. We're going into September in 2 weeks' time. So we're looking at this corrective structure. This corrective structure is not completed yet. If you remember, we had a setup here where we were looking for this one to the downside, did not play out. Now there is this corrective structure here, which is playing out. It's pulling back currently. This could potentially make a move to the upside. And if you look at around the same time in September, we had a similar structure. Looked like it was reversing, and then it rallied to the upside. And check how many pips that was from the breakout. So that was over 600 pips, and eventually pushed up for over, let's just check here. Let me just see how many pips this was here. Eventually after the breakout, we went for over 1,400 pips to the upside. And then you'll see that similar patterns in the other pound pairs as well. So, but let's look at what is happening currently. We're not in September yet. We're looking at this corrective structure. Is this gonna go all the way down, or is this completing a corrective structure? Let's have a look at that structure in the lower degree. Looking at a 4-hour on pound chief, that is a corrective structure. That is what we were seeing on the daily, looking like a flag in the daily and then upside. Now what you're seeing here is a clear corrective structure. Let's have a look at it. Let's switch this off here. We have got this one here as a pulsing move to the downside. We also have this one as another flat correction here in the middle. We're currently making this move. And if we're making this move, very likely that when we get to this level, we can start the rally from here. So short term, still looking for downside. Be careful when you get to this level. It's a structural level. We can break lower and make a move to the upside. And then you get that regular flat in the yellow degree, giving you this ABC continuation pattern. We've already started with a 3-wave move here. So we can get another 3-wave move. So that is where that rally may be coming from or will come from. Right, so that is a pound chief. Watch out for that. Pound Audi, we're also pulling back. Similar structure as you can see. One. Let's just do this one clearly again. We've got this one as a 1, 2, 3 there. Regular flat. You've got this one here as a 1, 2, 3 down. We're going to get another 1, 2, 3 down, and then we start making a move to the upside. Short term, we're coming down here. Be careful when you get to this level. We may be getting a very good trade to the upside on pound Audi as well. Pound CAD is the only one that is showing us downside. Now with pound CAD, we've got 3 waves down here, we've got 3 waves up. This is coming down here. So we should get another pullback before we move to the upside. So you can get this structure. WXY structure if we're going to have any move to the upside. So the CAD pairs, regardless of what the pound pairs are doing, all the pairs that have got the CAD currency in them are showing weakness. Okay, that is what we have here, WXY. So we're still looking for downside. Any pullback, sell. Right, pound New Zealand, also pulling back, expected 3-wave move, which will be a corrective structure. Then we're gonna look to see if we're gonna have a resumption of the move to the upside. But for now, look for downside if you get a pullback. Pound ZAR, we already looked at pound ZAR. Euro pound looks very good. It's got a very interesting structure. So if we're looking for the pound pairs to drop in the coming week, we're obviously looking for Euro pound to push a little bit higher. We've got this structure, pulsing move to the downside. It's actually not a pulsing move, it's 3 waves up. Now here you've got another move to the upside like that. That's 3 waves again. You've got another 3-wave move here. If you look at this one, you've got a flat correction to the downside here. We've started with a pulsing move to the upside. Expect this move to complete around this level. That is if the pound pair starts pushing lower for the short term. Then we're going to expect this one to continue lower when the pound pairs resume a move to the upside. And that's why we're expecting this structure here, which will be either ABC or WXY. For now, we'll look at it, leave it as ABC. Then upside. Right, so that is Euro Pound, Euro Audi. Now Euro Audi, let's have a look here. So Euro Audi looks like we're gonna have some upside here. Let's look at the current structure. We've got 3 waves down here. We've got what looks like another 3-wave move here. Is this gonna make another 3 waves up here on Euro Audi? Let's check here. But we may still be in this corrective structure until the breakout, until the Pound Audi is ready to break out as well. So we may be pulling back here and just making this corrective structure until we get that pull back. So even if we do get this one as a setup for upside, as long as the indicator confirms, you can confirm, but we can only you may just get to this level only. So you need to be careful if you're buying there on confirmation. If you get that confirmation for upside, because that can just make this upside and come back down here, giving us this structure. Okay, so be careful with that. There is a possibility for this to push up higher. It may not go anywhere. EURCAD, as I said, all the pairs that I've got, the CAD in them are showing weakness. As you can see here, we've already started with this, making 3 waves down here. There's another pullback. We should see another 3 waves down here. So a pullback that you'll see here may just be something similar to this. Got 3 waves there. You may just get this and then downside. So downside on EURCAD, downside on Pound CAD. Right, so we had a setup for a buy here, which we got only this move to the upside. We also had a setup, I should have shown you this one on Pound CAD. So Pound CAD, we had this setup where we got this 100 pips here. We got this 100 pips on Pound CAD just up to this move. We're looking for this one to break out from this structure, but made 100 pips and come back. But you're not going to lose a trade that has moved 100 pips into profit. You move that to break even. We've got a strategy that we use to decide when to run the risk, a trade to risk free. Right, so these are the Euro pairs. We've looked at EURCAD. Let's now look at EURCHF. EURCHF, we took a couple of positions that did not go anywhere. That's why I didn't show you much under trade setups for the last week, because most of those trades did not really go anywhere. So, but what is important is that the strategy or this indicator will pinpoint for you when to enter, but it won't tell you the structure that this is forming. So this is EURCHF, just to give you an example. This is EURCHF. Let's see how we looked at EURCHF in the week. See if we can find it there. So this is EURCHF. As much as this trade did not go anywhere, you can see that this is a pinpointed entry. This goes about 70 pips. We already moved to break even. Even if this is going to come back down like it is, we don't lose that trade. Okay, we've already moved to break even, and then that is how we manage this. So we decide beforehand how the trade is going to be managed. So this is how it is now. So what are we expecting here? This looks like a deeper corrective structure, so we may get this one to start continuing higher again. So let's watch and see how that plays out. So we may have been premature in taking it here. That doesn't matter. That because we didn't lose the trade, we can try again here if we get this structure. Why would we be expecting that structure? Because this is the structure here that we'll look at. 1, 2, and the 3. We're currently coming down with the yellow, and then upside. A, B, C, then we look for upside. That is EUROCHF, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand expect a 3-wave pullback. This does not look like a reversal as yet. We may get a 3-wave pullback and continuation to the upside. Let's look at the crosses. AUDCAD, again, those pairs that have got the CAD in them are showing weakness. And if the CAD is the quoted as the base currency, then they will be showing some strength. We've got 3 waves here, got a pullback here. This is continuing to the downside. Is this going to pull back and continue lower? Let's see. We're looking for continuation to the downside. This is not even going to make a structure here. It's not even going to make a structure. So we're just going to look for this one to break lower here and correct here and show continuation to the downside. Then we can relate the structure that it's forming. AUDCHF, we had a trade set up that went very slowly from here. As you can see, we were looking for this one to break out here and give us a trade to the downside. this one kept pushing up higher, and this one came down very slowly, and eventually we got this. So structurally, what we have on US dollar CHF is this. We're looking at this current level, current structure as 1, 2, 3 down, looking for this one to continue lower here and come and retest this low. Right, so that's what we're looking at. Look at this one to give us a corrective structure and a continuation pattern. Then we start looking for downside on AUDCHF. Audi New Zealand, the Audi New Zealand, I kept saying that this one, you need to keep buying Audi New Zealand. Keep buying Audi New Zealand. As long as you keep getting this, you keep buying it. So if you get a structure here, a deeper one even, we're going to be looking to resume Audi New Zealand. Check out the previous videos why we're looking bullish long term on Audi New Zealand up to about 1,400, 1,14, not 1,000, yeah, 1,400, 1,14 on New Zealand, and even more. All right, so we've looked at that. New Zealand CAD, another one that has got a CAD in it. It's coming down, pullback, continuation to the downside. New Zealand CHF. So New Zealand has made this 3 waves. Is gonna now start reversing here. If it does, then we're gonna see this one slowing down and then push to the upside. Not ready to push up higher yet. Let's have a look here. Not ready as yet. We'll be looking for this one to keep pushing lower and then upside. Right, so CADJPY. CADJPY has made this motive wave. This is a motive wave. It's not a corrective structure. It's a pulsing move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is at the end of that move, or we're still going to see a bit of a move to the upside. Regardless of how this plays out, when this move is done, we're going to see a pullback here. And this is going to resume a move to the upside because this is what looks like a diagonal. At the end of this diagonal, we could have this one as a wave 1 or an A. We should get a B, and then the resumption of the move to the upside. So if you're going to take upside on CAD, you need to get an A corrective structure. Then that's going to be for a trade to the upside. Right, let's look at the indices. Indices have been interesting in the last couple of days. We are exactly where we were at the start of March this year, at all-time highs. We are back at all-time highs. So let's have a look at, let's just take a step back here and look at the weekly charts. And I'm going to show you weekly charts on all the indices just so you can have a good, better perspective what to expect in the next coming sessions. So the next coming sessions, the indices are showing bullish moves to the upside. There's the S&P 500. Let me show you the whole structure here. So we're currently looking to complete, this is the weekly chart. So you need to look for continuation patterns to the upside. As long as you get confirmation for upside and to ride onto this trend, we're going to be looking for the S&P 500 to push up higher. At this point here, we're expecting this one to make a corrective structure. I'll show you that in the lower degree, but the structure on the S&P 500 is showing us on the weekly that we're gonna push up higher for that wave 5. That means we're going to go to all-time highs on the S&P 500, okay? We're going to push much higher, so it's a good time. You can still buy stocks before the bigger corrective structure comes. Wave 5, upside. Now, what does it look like in the lower degree? Let's look at the 4-hour. So the 4-hour is still showing us, it's also showing us continuation patterns to the upside in the coming session. We're currently right at the all-time highs. Any breakout here, we're going to see new highs. Okay, so even if this is the end of wave 5 here, a deeper correction will just mean that we are resuming a move to the upside to continue to that wave 5. So look out for this one to break out here when you get confirmation of this correction there. Dow, again on the weekly, let's have a look at the Dow on the weekly. So Dow on the weekly, looking for continuation to the upside. We're also looking for a wave 5 here on the Dow. So any continuation pattern you get on the Dow, look for upside. And the nice thing here is that if we make a new high here, and the Dow, this is the Dow Jones Industrial, and if the transportation, Dow Jones Transportation confirms this new high, that means we're going to make new highs here on the weekly on the Dow. Let's look at the shorter time frame. That is a 4 hour. On the Dow, you've got a continuation pattern there. This is going to continue higher. Monday, we're looking for continuation to the upside. Transportation is also confirming the same thing. You're looking higher here. So we have not got the deeper corrective structure yet. So here you're looking to buy this. We continue to buy this. Be careful now, because at this point here, as much as we continue higher, at any point here now, we can start getting a deeper one, even if it is just a corrective structure. But short term, we're looking upside. The NASDAQ, let's look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at this one. So the NASDAQ also showing continuation to the upside, except the NASDAQ may just give us one more down, but this overall is making this continuation pattern to the upside. Let me show you on the weekly again as well, just like the others on the NASDAQ, so you can have a better perspective. NASDAQ already at new highs. We are currently at new highs. Any corrective structure here is a continuation to the upside. We're seeing a continuation pattern in the 4 hour. So that continuation pattern is indication for new highs. So, but we need to see this one coming down first and then upside. That pullback does not mean a reversal. UK 100, let's look at the UK 100 as well. So the UK 100, I've changed the structure slightly. Let's look at the weekly. If you look at the weekly on the UK 100, this is what we have. Same as the other indices. This, we don't know if this is an A or a 1, it doesn't matter, but we can see that there's a corrective structure here. And from this corrective structure, we've started a motive wave to the upside, which starts with a diagonal, has pulled back. And if that is a diagonal, that means that's the wave 1. So we're looking for upside here. Okay, so we're looking for upside, whatever this is. If this is A, B, that's fine. Then we started with the A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. We've got a pulsing move here. Now, after that pulsing move, a continuation pattern there. Let's look at the 4 hour. So what we have here, let's switch this off here. What we have here on the 4 hour is this continuation pattern on the 4 hour. When this is complete, we're going to start seeing this one make a move to the upside. For now, still waiting for this one to pull back and then upside. That is UK 100, the DAX. Let's look at it on the weekly as well. I'm not always going to do this, but if you look at the DAX on the weekly as well, we're looking for continuation to the upside. So we've got this one as a wave 4. We're going for a wave 5 here in the lower degree. The continuation pattern is indicative of further upside on the DAX. Let's look at the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, switch this off here. This could come back down here and give us this structure. If we get that, then that's a continuation pattern to the upside. So just like the UK 100, this may be making a 3-wave structure and continuation to the upside. So short-term pullback before resumption of the move to the upside. We'll update this in the next week. Nikkei looks like it's going to continue to the upside here. We've already broken this structure. We're looking for upside, and also let's look at the weekly on the Nikkei. Let's look at the weekly on the Nikkei. You can see that we're here. We just need to break here to make new all-time highs. All the indices look like they're going to be making new all-time highs. Okay, so the Nikkei has not reached the all-time highs yet. Still a bit far. So we'll be looking for the Nikkei to push up higher. We are going for that wave 5 in any case on the Nikkei. All right. Continuation to the upside. And lastly, the Nifty. Nifty, we are currently in this wave 5. We're currently in this wave 5. So any continuation pattern to the upside, you take it. 1, 2, we're looking for this one. We've actually traded the wave 3 here. Looks like it's not complete yet. And as you can see, also going to make new highs. So if you get a continuation pattern, a decent one on the 4 hour, that's going to be a nice entry for upside, for further upside. Looks like it's wedging up, wedging in here, making a diagonal. So we should only enter when we get this deeper pullback on the Nifty. All right, guys, that's all I had for you this week. trade responsibly. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment. If you've got any suggestions, please drop them. I know a number of people want additional pairs. We cannot do all the pairs all in just 1 hour of the webinar, but we'll do our best to address some of the suggestions that you may have in the box. So hit that notification button as well, so you can get an alert when we post the next video. Have a great week, guys. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.